the sun is just starting to climb up over the treetops. And it's gonna be a beautiful day, that's plain to see.
Welcome to Bill Dance Outdoors, America's most popular and longest running TV fishing show.
Now I've gone fishing with Bill Dance today.
It comes up, boom. Tug there, buddy. Woo! Alright, pull that drag. Pull himself. There we go. Hello everybody. You know, Webster defines the word string as a small cord used to bind, fasten, or tie. Well, fishermen defined it as a small cord you put on a fishing reel, which you tie a hook or lure to. It also holds the bait while it's cast, worked, and retrieved back to your rod tip. And finally, it's defined as the only connection between you and the fish. Over the years, the name fishing string became fishing line, the word catgut became monofilament, and the word old braided lines became super lines. Then came another line called fluorocarbon. Well, today, fishermen are realizing that using one line for all applications is a big no-no. Anglers are discovering many applications in which these new lines perform better than monofilament. Now, does this mean monofilament is history? Absolutely not. Never. Monofilament is still one of the most innovative products fishing has ever seen, and it too has many applications. Up under something. I can get him out. I don't know. That light line. He's a good one. Come on out from under that. Ah. I don't think I'm gonna get him. He just keeps going. Come on, come on, come on, come on, please, come on. I got him out. Nice one. Easy does it. Barely hooked. Come here, buddy. Woo! That hook just fell out. Pretty fish. I'll tell you what, you know, I learned something a long time ago. When you hang one, if he gets you up under something, if you'll apply the same amount of pressure to him as he applies to you, he scuffed it up pretty good. But if you'll apply the same amount of pressure to him as he applies to you, if he pulls down 2 feet, you pull back 2 feet. If he pulls 3, you pull back 3. Don't reel. If you reel, what's gonna happen? If you reel, you're gonna winch him up on that cover and he can't swim. He's got to swim to be able to free him. So if he pulls down, you pull back. If he pulls a foot, you pull back a foot. If he pulls 2 feet, you pull back 2 feet. You don't just keep winching him, because if you winch him up there where he can't swim, what he's gonna do, there's so much tension against that line, right against that, he's gonna just break off. Or he can't swim, you're gonna lose him. So always apply the same amount of pressure to him that he applies to you. 2 feet, you pull back. 3 feet, you pull back 3. Don't reel.
Bill Dance Outdoors is sponsored in part by Bass Pro Shops. Your adventure starts here. Rebel, catch fish anywhere. and by Mercury Marine. Go boldly. Today's Conditions Log is brought to you by the Tennessee Department of Tourist Development. Come experience the kind of beauty that can only be made in Tennessee. Go online today for your free Tennessee vacation guide.
I'm going to show you the advantages of using a barbless hook. Watch this. See that fish swallowed that? Watch this. Let me show you something. See, he swallowed it. There's the worm way down in his mouth. If you can see that hook, I'm going to pull the hook out, the worm out of the way. You can see the hook right way down there. So I'm going to come right in here with the pliers. Come right in here, up under the gill flap, right here. I'm gonna catch that hook right here, and I'm gonna just turn the hook like this. Just rotate it with the pliers. You see the hook right there? Now I'm gonna take the pliers out. See, it hadn't hurt that fish a bit. See that hook is just as smooth on the inside right here as it is the outside. Okay, it's important to know the differences when choosing lines. You've got to learn the characteristics of each line, whether it's monofilament, braid, or fluorocarbon, and how each can benefit or hinder each technique. Now, as a general rule, monofilament is easier to handle, has good knot strength, and abrasion resistance is absolutely super, making this line a good all-round choice. Fluorocarbon looks a lot like monofilament, but it's a different material and transmits vibrations much better. A lot of fishermen actually believe that fluorocarbon is more sensitive because it has less stretch than mono. But according to the good folks at Strand, that ain't the case. They say all nylon monofilament contains 18 to 35% stretch, while most fluorocarbon has 28 to 38% stretch. Stretch in braid line is in the 2 to 7% range. The difference is that nylon has a stretch recovery or rubber band effect. Fluorocarbon may elongate, but differently. Actually, the density of the line is what makes it more sensitive. That's a better one. Yep. Wow! Did you see that buster come up? Did you see that? Gonna do it again, I think. Stripping that line. He is full of himself. Pull, pull, pull. You're a pretty thing. Come on down here. You're probably asking yourself, is stretch good or bad? Well, it's good, especially for fast-moving treble hook baits. Normally on lures of this type, with a moderate to fast presentation, the fish usually hooks itself, and the stretch provides a shock absorber effect that keeps a large fish hooked up so much better. Say bye-bye. Whoa! I got a good jump out of that fish, and boy, he took off for Yondersville. That's where a good drag pays off. I'm using about 10-pound test mono, and that drag really is important with this light line.
Today's show is sponsored in part by Quantum Rods and Reels, Mystic Lubricants, Lubrication Domination, and Tracker Boats, fish the finest. Today's equipment log is brought to you in part by Gamakatsu, because the fish of a lifetime only comes once in a lifetime. Today's show is sponsored in part by Stren, the standard of dependability since 1958. Lure Lock, turning the tackle world upside down. And Garmin, fight your fish, not your fish find you.
Let's spend a minute and talk about braid. You know, when braid was first introduced, I absolutely hated it. Even while testing it way back yonder, it gave me a fit. But today, these super lines have definitely got a place in fishing. A line that offers many advantages, and one would be strength to diameter ratio. 30-pound braid has about an 8-pound mono diameter. 50-pound braid has a 12-pound mono diameter. It's much easier to control in cold water on either spinning or casting. It has less than 7% stretch, creating incredible sensitivity and much better hookups. Higher knot strength, excellent in deep water and moving water, especially for better feel, softer biters, and better hookups. Great resistance to abrasion, tremendous durability for extended use, less need to retie or respool as often. Ideal for flipping and pitching in heavy cover areas. A braid like Stren is rounder and thinner and packs more uniformity on spinning and conventional reels, and will not bury up in the reel, and the knots are stronger and they don't slip. And these are some of the features that I really like. Yep, before you ask, there are disadvantages to braid. You can cause the hooks to tear out from the fish's mouth if you apply too much pressure during the fight or on the hook set. And yep, you can eliminate this by softening the action of your rod. Example, if you're using a heavy action, switch to a medium heavy. If you're using a medium heavy, switch to a medium action. By softening the action, you'll definitely improve your strike catch ratio. You don't make me come all the way back here, are you? All right, ease up here to me. Open your mouth. Say ah. There we go. Barbless. Look at old black blotch on him. It doesn't hurt him at all. It's just part of the pigmentation in it. That one too. Toodaloo. The line we're using today is Stren Original. 10-pound test, clear blue fluorescent. On a 25 series smoke reel and a 6'9" medium heavy smoke rod. The little rod's got a super sensitive tip and a lot of backbone. I cannot tell you how easy this trolling motor steers. I mean, it's like power steering. There ain't no comparison. I bet I could steer it with my big toe. A fish right there. You know, you got baits like rattle baits, you got stick baits, you got swim baits, and you got crankbaits that all have their own built-in action. Well, basically a plastic worm, you've got to give it action to make it look alive. But with a ribbon-tail worm, it's got its own built-in action if you fish it right. You can pull it like this, and just let it free fall, and that tail will come up, and as it falls, that tail will swim like that. Little putty thing. Ta-ta.
Bill's question and answer of the week is brought to you by Bill Dance Digital. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube for great information that can improve your fishing.
Bill, like you, I use quantum smoke rods with micro guides. What's a good knot when using braid and fluorocarbon lines? Micro guides need small knots. With Stren braid, you can use from 30-pound test that has an 8-pound mono diameter. Now, my favorite knot when tying these two lines is Stren's Unity Uni. You can learn how to tie this knot on Stren's website. A great knot that's very small and casts exceptionally well.
Today's show is sponsored in part by Millennium Marine, a new class of comfort, and Motor Guide, trolling motors engineered for anglers. Closed captioning provided by Power Pole, the original shallow water anchor. Today's product tip is brought to you by Garmin and their GPS map series, chart plotter sonar combos. With advanced sonar technology like Chirp and exclusive Panoptix all-seeing sonar, you'll spend less time finding your fish.
Ethanol treatment, fuel stabilizer, engine cleaner. That's why Mystic calls it all-in-one. It's one great synthetic blend outboard engine oil that guarantees to protect your marine engine through OEM warranty period and beyond. Mystic JT4 All-in-One provides guaranteed protection and also cleans as it protects. Mystic All-in-One outboard engine oil.
Come be a part of Bill Dance Digital. Join us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Follow us.
There we go. Come on to me. Oh, here he comes. Boy, he's a good one. I can just get him up. Ooh. Come here, big boy. Woo. Look at that. Woo. I saw him right straight under the boat. Wow. Okay, time to go home. Okay, here's a tip about what type knot is best for tying lures and hooks with braid or fluorocarbon. Both of these materials can be slippery, and a properly tied Palomar will hold much better. And since braided lines are generally opaque in the water and thus visible to the fish, it's smart to attach a fluorocarbon leader at the end of the braid to serve as a leader. Okay, now let's discuss the advantages of fluorocarbon. Fluorocarbon is much less visible than monofilament underwater. It sinks faster than mono or braid, which is a major plus in some applications. And it's more durable than mono, which allows you to fish lighter weight line tests around heavy cover. like most things, nothing is 100% perfect. Okay, let me share with you some of the negatives about fluorocarbon. Now, fluorocarbon is a little stiffer than mono, especially in heavier line sizes, making cast stability a little bit more difficult. But I have found that Stren's 100% Fluorocast fluorocarbon is the most manageable and limp line I've ever fished. But it is a bad choice for fishing topwater lures because it will sink, causing line drag below the surface, affecting the action of the bait. You know, since we're talking about fluorocarbon, let me point out something that anglers actually believe that's totally not true. Fluorocarbon is not 100% invisible. However, there is one that comes mighty doggone close, and that's the one made by Stren, and it's called Fluorocast fluorocarbon. It's a smooth casting line that's supple for excellent handling, virtually invisible to get you more strikes. It has excellent knot and shock strength for solid hook sets. Now, Fluorocast has greater density, allowing your lures to run deeper, and it's super sensitive.
Oh yeah, right here, look. Whoa! He grabbed it right. Whoa! Boy, got me out of breath. Whoa! He's just waddling right on down through there. Ooh, that's a nice one. Boo-boo. Well, as you've heard, fishing lines today have some great features for certain applications. Learn to use them for specific techniques, and remember, one line for all conditions is a thing of the past. Until next time, catch one for me.
Thanks for watching Bill Dance Outdoors. Join us here again next week.
Now I've gone fishing with Bill Dance today.